Well, good morning. Today is Monday, April 8th, and it's time for our weekly meeting highlights. This week it's about going out to eat. Try these stay on track tips. We know how much I like to eat out, but we always start off with how I did. Last week I didn't do a video for meeting highlights. My sister is in the hospital. A lot going on. I had a lot going on in March. I missed 4 weigh-ins, so it was like the 5th weekend. This was the 5th week that I actually did go and weigh myself. So I missed 4 times, and I really thought I was going to have a huge gain. I really thought it was going to be a really big gain because I know they say there's no such thing as stress eating, but when I'm stressed, I eat. My sister's been in the hospital almost the whole month of March. I've been running back and forth to the hospital. Now she's in a rehab. I have to take this call. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. That was my sister Mary calling from the hospital. I'm always going to take her call. She's fine. But anyway, like I said, I thought I was going to have a really big gain. So when I got on the scale, I even told the person that was taking my weight, I said, I know that's going to be a big gain. I'm prepared for it. It's been like, this is the 5th week since I've had a weigh-in, so I'm really ready. So for 5 weeks, this is how much I gained, because obviously I gained. I hadn't been to the meeting, but let me show you how I did. Okay, I think for missing 5 weigh-ins, a 1.6 gain is not too bad. A gain is a gain is a gain. It's like not good. A gain is never good. But I think for a whole month, 5 weeks, that 1.6 is not too bad. So I'm back on track now. I'm doing a lot better. I didn't eat out for Lent, but now I can go back out to eat the Lent because Lent is over. So let's see what they say. Going out to eat, try these stay on track tips. Someone else is finally doing the cooking, but you still want a different kind of meal prep. Wait a minute. Someone else is finally doing the cooking, but you still want in on a different kind of meal prep. Help us explain. Help us. Allow us to explain. I know. I'm in a fog. I really am in a fog. I spend a lot of time at the rehab with my sister. It's not close to my house. It's about a half hour away. My whole routine of everything is all out of whack. So I apologize for the confusion. It's just I'm not getting a lot of sleep, I guess. But anyway, these are things that you can do. If you can map out moves and make decisions ahead of time, you need to save up your weekly and rollover points leading up to the meal for more flexibility. Look up on the menu or ask your host or pre-track your meal. If you're going to a friend's, offer to bring a low points dish and eat a low points snack before leaving home to help you stick to your plan. All wise moves, all things I've done in the past, but it takes preparation and it takes planning. And so therefore, as with any weight loss program, you have to make sure that you do the planning and the tracking and you know what you're going to eat ahead of time. Don't go starving, because if you go starving, you're going to overeat. So, like eat your normal meals, but not as much. Like if you know you're going to go out to dinner, have a very light breakfast, have a very light lunch, and then you're hungry enough that you're going to enjoy your dinner, but you're not starving that you're going to overeat and choose poorly. But if you have to make an on-the-spot decision, start with a brothy soup or salad, or choose 0 point foods as a main to make room for desserts or your dessert. Your dessert or your drinks. I'm maybe I shouldn't be doing this video because I'm telling you, I'm really kind of like in a fog. But I think that's a good thing. Sometimes you might be at work or something and someone will say, why don't we go to lunch or something? And you might not have planned on it. Always as long as you don't go crazy with the salad, because everybody thinks, I ordered a salad, it shouldn't be that bad. Well, it depends on what you put on the salad. If you're going to load it with cheese and croutons and olives and dressing, meat, even though it's chicken and stuff like that, it's still points. That's not points, but it's calories. So, make a conscious choice. As far as drinks go, always try to pick a drink like iced tea, water, lemonade. Well, lemonade, not so much, but tea or coffee. And desserts, really, if I'm going to pay that much for dessert, I'm going to get I'm going to get a really good dessert. So I'm not even going to waste my money on a dessert because no. You get like a little Jell-O or something like that, or a scoop of ice cream, something, very light. But also 0 on low points code words like grilled. Split an entree with a friend. Take half home or order an app as your main appetizer. I a lot of times will order an appetizer just for my main meal because I just think that and they're very filling because usually nowadays appetizers are enough to share with more than one person. So it's enough. I find that the reason that prices are so high is because they give you so much food. You don't need as much food as they give you. I would rather they cut the price in half and gave me half the amount of food because it's just ridiculous how much food they put on a plate nowadays that you do actually get 2 or 3 meals out of it. I had Chinese for lunch on Sunday, and I could have shared that with 2 other people. I mean, there was a lot of food. I have leftovers because there's no way I could have finished it. Now, maybe a couple of years ago, I probably would have when I wasn't really on a weight loss program. I probably would have ate it all. But now I'm a little bit more aware and conscious of what I'm doing. And use an appetizer plate at the buffet to help keep portions in check. If your plate is pretty full and it's a small plate, you think you're getting a lot more. Whereas if you have a big plate and you just put like a couple cherry tomatoes and a couple cucumbers and maybe a slice of cheese or something, and you look at that big plate and you think, I haven't got any food. But if you put it on a smaller luncheon plate, your mind is tricked into thinking, well, I got a lot of food on that plate. And if you eat slower, it takes longer for your brain to process the fact that you're done eating. So you're not going to overeat. So it just leads to a better outcome for sure. But also make a backup plan. Almost all of our points are weeklies too. Before you even order your entree, try this. Step 1, remind yourself it's okay if you eat more than you intended, but don't totally give up. And step 2, decide about how many extra points you're willing to spend and order accordingly. And step 3, when you get home, track the meal and plan or pre-track whatever lower points you're going to eat the next day. Even though you've overeaten today, you shouldn't have the mindset, well, I blew it today. I can eat whatever I want for the next couple of days because I already blew it the other day when I went out to eat. If you didn't make some smart choices, then kind of make smart choices over the next few days to kind of balance out the points that you have. Maybe you're going to eat a little under. You can always carry, I think it's up to 4 points a day you can carry over. So just try to eat 4 points less each day, or just a few points or a few calories less, just to kind of, balance it out, because a pound is a pound is a pound. So just because you overate one day doesn't mean that you have to overeat every single day of the week. And let's dive a little deeper. Ever have a day where every single thing played out exactly as you imagined? No. If only. Yet we still think and plan ahead because that's how we want to make sure things go as smoothly as possible. When you go on a trip, you make plans on where you're going to go, what you're planning on seeing, how much money you're planning on bringing, when you plan on stopping to eat, things like that. So the same thing goes for when you're planning to eat out for the week. Prepare yourself. Make sure you're aware of your choices and your downfalls, and your triggers, especially your triggers. My trigger is if I eat out, I always think that when I get home, I have to have something sweet. I can have a full meal, be completely satisfied, be completely full. But when I get home, I think I have to have something to counterbalance that. I have to have something sweet. And I don't really need to because I'm full from the meal, but it's like a trigger in my brain. So now I recognize that as a trigger. And so I don't do that often. I should put it that way. The same is true when it comes to eating away from home, like at a friend's birthday dinner or a vacation, or where you just don't have time or the energy to cook. Planning ahead for how to handle these kinds of disruptions to your usual eating routine, whether they're scheduled or not, helps you keep on track. Help is the key word, because even if you planned what you were going to order or eat, you can't control everything. Maybe your host insisted that you bring a dessert, or you try a dessert that they've made special, or the bread basket was warm and right there. Oh, that is my downfall at a restaurant, is when they bring out that bread. It is so hot that when you put the butter on it, it just melts. And you take that first bite and it's like heaven. It's just so good. The breadsticks, anything bread related when they put it at the table. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, they always put those little nacho chips on there to tempt you. It's just, you get easily swayed, but don't let it deter you from staying as much as you can on track. But it's no biggie, and if in those cases, enjoy the food and yourself, then regroup and get back to your routine as soon as possible. There are minor bumps to a much bigger journey. So, in a nutshell, try to plan better when you're eating out. Try to make a plan of what you're going to eat before you go, If you need to put it in your tracker, put it in your tracker before you go. Most restaurants have their online presence. A lot of restaurants might not be listed in the app, but you can go to another comparable restaurant and look up the exact same thing, and you're going to be pretty close in points. If not, look at the calories, because if you scroll a little higher up after you do the tracking, it'll tell you the protein content and the fat content and the carbs and all of that and the calories. So you can even just judge it by that. If it's not for the points, on times like that, try to go for the calories and figure out exactly how many calories you're eating. And then don't drink your calories. You know, like everybody likes a nice drink, but look at how many calories are in the drink that you're going to drink. I can have an iced tea for 0 points, or I can have a glass of Coke for like 180. Obviously, the tea is the better choice. I like the tea. I don't put anything in my tea, so it's 0 points. Why would I order a Coke when I can get the same pleasure out of a tea? Because I have the force of habit, I'll have a Coke with that. So just different little tweaks that you can do along the way is going to help you out. So the next time you go out to eat, try some stay on track tips and see if it helps you. What are some things that you do? Like I always bring food home. I always do when I go out to eat because they give you so much. A lot of times they're getting wise to letting you order off the children's plate if you don't have a child, which I think is ridiculous, because if you only want a little bit of food, you should be able to order from the child's menu, because the food is really proportioned the right way, a child's menu. But anyway, what are some things that you do? I'm kind of curious. And then how was your weight? And then what did you think of my gain for the whole 5 weeks that I've been missing weigh-in? I don't think it's too bad. A loss would have been much better, much more welcome. Would have been much more better welcome news for me. But I'm back on track now. My sister's got a long haul ahead of her, and so I can't use the excuse that my sister's in the hospital or my sister's in the rehab or wherever she's at the particular time, that that's going to make an excuse for me to be stressed. She's in good hands now. She's taking good care of herself. She's under the proper care. So I just know that things are going to be looking up, and so I'm going to start losing more weight again. So like I said, I gained 1.6 for a total loss of 36.6. Long way off from my 60 pounds. Long way off. But I'm going to get back there again. I know that. So I hope to see you next week here again on or else on my daily vlog. Check in with me on that. And like, comment, subscribe, and share. So if I don't see you on a daily vlog, let's hope I see you here again next week. Talk to you then.